Day everyone, I am Jean Vanessa Sapuras, a third-year BSED Mathematics student. Today we will talk about teachers as curriculum leaders in instructional planning process. This lesson discusses significant and various ideas that explore the important role of teachers as curriculum leaders. In the previous chapter, teachers are included in the list of curriculum workers that implement a curriculum. However, in this chapter, it will be discussed that teachers' role in curriculum is not limited to curriculum implementation. Rather, it also includes various curriculum leadership roles. So before we proceed to our discussion, let us first identify who are considered as curriculum leaders. So a curriculum leader provides leadership and management of their academic area by overseeing and coordinating the curriculum, the staff, the budget, as well as the resources in their school. So here are the terms that we need to consider in our lesson. The first one is curriculum. This refers to the lessons and academic content taught in a school or in a specific course or program. These include all the experiences that learners go through in a program of education. A curriculum is important because it identifies the subjects that need to be taught and learned by the students and how these subjects are being taught. The subjects and topics are said to be appropriate for the learners when they are within the realm of knowledge and capacity. On the other hand, defined as the purposeful direction of the learning process, instruction is one of the major teacher class activities along with planning and assessment. Professional educators have developed a variety of models of instruction, each designed to produce classroom learning. Olivia 2005 and Ornstein and Hanskin 1993 defined curriculum to include instruction. Accordingly, curriculum and instruction are inseparable. A part of curriculum processes is instruction that deals with the implementation of that curriculum. Instructional leadership is always associated with school administrators, particularly the school principals. It is a type of leadership that supports the development of teaching and learning. So it is referred to using different names including pedagogical leadership, learning-centered leadership, leadership for learning, and student-centered leadership. So these terms can be considered under the broad umbrella of instructional leadership and represent the specific and focused practices in which school leaders engage to intentionally support the development of effective teaching and learning in the schools. What is unique about instructional leadership is that it is tightly connected to the work of improving learning for students. Curriculum leaders is a broader in scope and has more functions compared to instructional leadership. Thus, instructional leadership is one of the functions of curriculum leaders. So curriculum leaders refers to the role you play in helping the school community to achieve its goals. Curriculum leadership connects the curriculum, the instruction, assessment, and evaluation in an effort to improve learning and understanding. At the school level, curriculum leaders develop the school's division of quality curriculum. At the classroom level, curriculum leaders develop yearly planning calendars for operationalizing the curriculum. McEwan 2003 pointed out that instructional leaders must be knowledgeable about learning theory, effective instruction, and curriculum, which she recognized as the power within the educational force. Curriculum leaders perform their instructional leadership function when they are able to represent the school philosophy, the vision and mission, the core values, and plans to learners, teachers, parents, and other stakeholders. Teachers as curriculum leaders share the vision and mission of the whole country on education. They are shapers of positive educational environment and they are guardians of educational values. Instructional leadership as one of the functions of curriculum leaders may need to do the following functions. First one is supervise the implementation of curriculum and academic standards. District and school leaders are faced with the task of adopting or developing curriculum materials and then supporting teachers' implementation of these materials through learning, coaching, and supervision. Instructional leaders provide resources such as model curriculum units, guidelines for instructional methods, and professional learning routines that enable teachers to analyze the standards, the curriculum, and related policy instruments. The second one is promote a school culture and climate that is conducive to teaching and learning. School climates are shared perceptions of norms that draw students and teachers to love the school and make them want to be part of it. It refers to the school's effect on students, including diversity, teaching practices, and the relationship among administrators, teachers, parents, and students. School culture, on the other hand, refers to how the school and teachers work together and set of values, beliefs, and assumptions they share. Positive school culture and climate improve students' ability to learn. So schools that promote high academic standards, leadership, and cooperation provide a climate that is conducive to student achievement and success. The third function of an instructional leader is to communicate the philosophy, vision, and mission of the school. Communication is the key to curriculum success, so people need to see the vision, identify with it, and know that leadership is serious about it. Developing and communicating a clear vision about the direction of the school is one of the critical tasks of an instructional leader. For instance, principals are required to build a vision for improving student achievement, and they expect that teachers will accept the vision and apply it consistently in their classrooms. Establishing a vision and setting the goals will help to steer the school toward higher student achievement. The fourth one is to train teachers and school staff. Teaching and learning go hand in hand, and teaching is truly lifelong, which makes it important for schools to invest immensely in the professional development of staff to equip themselves and cater to 21st century learners. It is important to understand that teaching is an evolving skill because a good teacher, just like a good student, keeps on learning within the framework of information. It is a known fact that those students who have well-informed teachers tend to perform better than their peers. Therefore, it is very important that the school management and leadership team pay attention to professional development of staff. Lead in the development or purchase of instructional materials. The instructional materials used in K-12 curriculum provide the basis for what students can learn and what teachers should teach. The process used to select those materials is critical to providing students and teachers with a solid foundation for achievement and successful teaching. Teachers and school leaders are both curriculum leaders. That is why they must work hand in hand in developing and choosing instructional materials that are easy and comprehensive to the learners. Good instructional materials address all of the key grade level knowledge and skills that students should master and that unpack complex standards. Curriculum leaders should also develop instructional materials that will help reduce teacher burden by limiting their need to supplement or bring in additional resources to fill the gaps and modify their main instructional materials. The function of an instructional leader is to prepare the school budget for instruction. A budget translates the vision and mission of school to annual plans by mapping the resources against the yearly goals and comparing the income and expense trends of the past, the present, and future. By creating and maintaining a budget for multiple years, the school leaders can understand the spending and income patterns to plan for the present academic year properly and achieve the goals. A well-planned budget helps the school by giving control on the way it spends money, Creating and following a budget will help the schools to generate profit or to create surplus from the funds available to the school. Observe classes of teachers. Teacher observation is one model of professional learning that is key to supporting a new vision for professional development. Teachers observing other teachers as a form of professional development improves teaching practices and student performance. The intention of teacher-to-teacher observation is that it is a tool for professional development and in turn for student learning. Administrators and teachers are viewing peer observation as a form of collaborative professional development. Check assessment tools such as exams and authentic assessments. Curriculum leaders should ensure that assessment engage students and prepare them with the skills that they will need in future courses, practicums, and even in their careers. Assessment asks students to actively participate in situations that require them to apply the principles that they have learned about in the instructional material. Thus, learning is not about recalling. Instead, it is about performing, which ideally will motivate students to engage in the course and succeed in their endeavors. So here are the 8 functions of instructional leaders as curriculum leaders. Curriculum leaders fulfill these instructional leadership functions in dynamic and democratic ways. It is dynamic because the instructional leadership is continuous, productive, and curriculum leaders are active to it. And it is democratic because curriculum leaders consider the ideas, concepts, and opinions of the teachers, students, and other stakeholders. All curriculums share one goal: to help students learn. No matter what country or district your school is in, student outcomes starts with a solid plan. A good curriculum creates positive environment for learning in which there is improvement in student learning and creates avenue for high academic achievements and performances. Planning effective instruction is an important task of teachers as curriculum leaders. Racer and Dix 1996 developed an instructional planning model that presents a very logical sequence of instructional planning. Dick and Racer model is an instructional design with general purposes as follows: analysis of learners' needs and context, design a set of specifications to create an effective, efficient, and relevant learner environment, develop all learner and management materials, implement the instructions, and evaluate the results of the development process and end product. So the first stage of the instructional model is to identify instructional goal. A goal is a general statement of what you would like for the students to be able to do when they complete your course. For example, the first grade math students, the goal is students should be able to solve basic addition problems. The second stage is identifying learning objectives. If students achieve all of the objectives but have not reached their goals, then there is something wrong with the objectives. On the other hand, if students have not met all of their objectives but have reached their goals, some of the objectives were not necessary. The next stage is to develop assessment tools. Assessment tools must be designed to provide students with the opportunity to demonstrate the skills, knowledge, and attitudes stated in the objectives. Next is the planning of instructional activities. Instructional activities are those activities which help to meet the objectives and eventually the goals. Activities that provide opportunity to students to explore within a domain, integrating their new knowledge with knowledge and attitudes which they brought with them in order to construct their own meaning. The fifth stage is to choose instructional media. Instructional media include lecturing, assignments, using presentation packages such as PowerPoint, the Internet, computer-assisted instruction packages, and others. The problem is to discover which helps most in meeting objectives and that may not be the same for all students. The sixth stage is to implement instruction. Implementation gives instructor the opportunity to assess the effectiveness of the plan of instruction. It includes actual teaching and learning process wherein the teacher's skill in effectively carrying out the lesson is needed. And the last stage is to revise instruction. Any plan should be subject to revision, and the revision should go clear back to the objectives. Usually, we do not wish to change the actual goals for a course, but the objectives may not be actually helping to meet the goal. The activities may not be helping to meet the objectives. The media may not be the most efficient means of delivery. The assessment may not actually provide the opportunities to demonstrate meeting the objectives. That is why teachers as curriculum leaders need to know how to utilize the result of assessment in improving classroom instruction. Instructional activities in Ratio and Dix model includes the following instructional procedures. The first step is motivation. The second step is presentation of objectives. The third step is recalling prerequisite skills and knowledge. The fourth step is presentation of information and examples. The fifth step is practice and feedback. The sixth is summary. And the last step is assessment. Teachers may use several teaching strategies and learning activities in each procedure to ensure the success of instruction. Planning is necessary because teachers need to respond to the learning needs of the students and align their teaching styles with the learning styles of every student. If you want a big impact, then you should use a big image for yourself. The idea of the teacher as a leader is far from new. There is a wealth of evidence underlying the pivotal importance of leadership at the classroom level, illuminating how teachers actively contribute to school and system change. The educational system needs to be turned inside out so that teachers have more influence to lead meaningful change that will positively impact on the young people they teach. So that would be all for my report. I hope you have learned something from me and may those knowledge be integrated to real world scenarios. Thank you and God bless us all.